Hey Virgo, let's see what's going on in your love life. This is a tarot love reading for Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and for any of you lovely cross watchers dealing with a Virgo romantically. Please keep in mind, Virgo, it is a general reading. It may or may not resonate. You are welcome to take what works and leave the rest. And just a quick reminder that if you'd like to get a personal reading, I do offer those through Etsy, and the link is in the description box below the video. So we're going to jump right into it today, Virgo, and we're going to see what could be coming toward you in love. First message coming out today for Virgo, we have got the Empress. So the Empress tends to be a really lovely energy when it comes to love. It's very nurturing, it's very caring. It does tend to suggest that there is somebody here who ultimately wants to love you and nourish you and care for the connection. So let's see where it goes. Tell me more about what could be coming toward Virgo. Oh no, oh my goodness. Okay, and then we've got the Seven of Swords. So this is a problem, you guys. The Seven of Swords is the thief of the tarot. It is somebody who is sneaking around, being dishonest, hiding something, and really not being forthcoming about what's going on. So this is tough because I almost feel that your person with the Empress energy is like trying to, I don't know why, I'm getting this message of like, make the relationship look perfect, you know? It's like they're trying to give this image of this very loving and nurturing connection. But then there's also some stuff going on, and we're gonna have to look at that to see what it could be. But it's almost like it's an illusion. Like I'm getting an energy of an illusion here where somebody's like, I want the world to think I have this perfect relationship, but things are actually not that perfect. And what we see here is somebody who is potentially hiding things from you and potentially not being honest about something. Now, the other thing that I'm gonna throw in, now that we have the Seven of Swords, Virgo, you know, the Empress card, you can see, this is a person who's pregnant. So sometimes what happens with the Empress energy is that I do get a little bit of a vibe of like a parent-child dynamic. Have you ever experienced this where you're like in a relationship, but you feel like you have to be the mature one, you need to be the responsible one, you need to take care of everything? That's the kind of vibe that the Empress gives. So maybe there's also a little bit of that type of a dynamic going on, Virgo, where you feel like you always have to essentially like be the adult and be the responsible one. And then you're dealing with someone who's just doing all these shenanigans with the Seven of Swords. Let's get one more card for the overall energy today, the Five of Wands. So there's conflict. Okay. My sense here, Virgo, is that whatever is hidden is going to be coming out to light, and then you're going to have to figure out what to do with it. So I think what's going to happen is you could potentially be finding something out with that Seven of Swords, and then you're going to have an internal conflict because you're like, okay, so what do I do with this information now? How do I move forward? Now, the Five of Wands can also indicate that the two of you are going to be hashing it out. So maybe you're having fights, maybe you're having arguments. Maybe what's even going on here, Virgo, is that you're going to your person and you're like, I feel like you're hiding something, or I feel like there's something going on and I don't know what it is. And it's like you're trying to get them to talk, and that could be frustrating. Like what I'm intuitively feeling is that your gut is telling you something is not right with that Seven of Swords, and you're trying to confront your person, and maybe you've already confronted them before, but I feel like they're not going to own up to it the first time, you know? This might be a case where they deny. They're like, everything's fine, I'm not hiding anything. And then months down the road, after you've asked them 50 times, you find out the truth. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting here. And I'll also say with the Empress card, it is possible some of you have kids with this person as well. Okay, so definitely interesting energy, you guys. Here's what we're gonna do for the rest of the reading. We're gonna look more at this person and we're gonna look more at you. So we're gonna look at their overall energy, what they could be feeling, what actions they could be taking. I will look at the same thing for you, Virgo, and then we'll look at the potential outcome. So let's get into it. Tell me about this person's energy right now, please. Okay. First card coming out for your person is the Three of Swords, you guys. Three of Swords is literally the heartbreak card in the tarot. So unfortunately, like I hate to say this, you guys, it kind of feels like they're going to be doing something that like breaks your heart, you know, like hurts you. Sorry, guys. Let's see where it goes. I mean, we already kind of know the overall energy was suspicious, right? So tell me more about them right now. The Knight of Wands. It could be cheating. It could be. The reason I'm saying that is because to have the Knight of Wands beside the Three of Swords is a really big problem for me. The Knight of Wands, when it's surrounded by negative energy, and also like the Seven of Swords where there's potentially something being hidden, this can give like a player, somebody who is keeping their options open, sleeping around. So it's very like they're driven by their desires. You know, they do what feels good in the moment without really thinking through the consequences. Tell me more, please. Five of Swords. Did they cheat with a friend? Guys, this is tough. We're getting some heavy energy today. So Five of Swords, drama, issues, external interference, right? I know it's specific, and that's why I always say with these readings, you guys, take it or leave it. I give examples, but at the end of the day, you know your circumstance, apply it if it applies. If it doesn't, that's okay. But I am getting like somebody who hooked up with your friend. I know that's specific, you guys, but I feel like that may have happened for some of you, and then maybe your person and the friend have been trying to hide it, but yet they're still kind of seeing each other. That's the kind of like messed up shit I'm picking up on right now, you know? Like really, really tough energy, you guys. So let's see what they could be feeling. King of Pentacles, yes, okay. That's what I was saying. It's almost like they're trying to present the illusion that everything is stable and fine, but it's not. So King of Pentacles is earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. I'm really getting the energy of an illusion. It's like they project this very confident demeanor. And the other thing too, Virgo, there might be a little bit of gaslighting going on. You know, you go to them and you're like, I feel something's going on. Like, can we talk? And they're like, what do you mean, Virgo? Like everything's fine. You're crazy. You're up in your head. Like, you know, and they project this air of confidence. So you're like, okay, well, they're really denying it. So like maybe it is all up in my head, and then they make you doubt yourself. Tell me what else they could be feeling, please. The Judgment card. Okay. Okay. I roll my eyes. So I'll tell you why. The Judgment card is a card of forgiveness and second chances. And a lot of the times, you guys know if you watch my channel, I feel things intuitively when I pull the cards, and I like to share with you what I get as the message in case it resonates. I could see this being a scenario where they end up leaving you for, I don't know, a friend or somebody else, and they go date that person, I don't know, maybe for 3 to 5 months, maybe, okay? 3 to 5 weeks, 3 to 5 months, whatever it is. And then they realize they miss you. And then they come back around and they ask for a second chance. This is like they have no shame. I was gonna say this is a person who has like no shame. It's like they do bad behavior and they're like, whatever, Virgo's gonna take me back. Tell me more about what they could be feeling, the Wheel of Fortune. I'm also getting the message they're gonna sell you a story. So I think it's possible they break your heart with the Three of Swords. Maybe even you guys separate for a while. I think they're definitely going to be dating and seeing other people. And then they come back around and they're like, I've seen the error of my ways, Virgo. We are destined to be together with that Wheel of Fortune. You know, give me another chance here. It's almost as if they kind of take for granted that you're always going to be there. You know, I'm getting the vibe of somebody who feels they can just like walk all over someone, you know? Let's see what actions they could be taking right now. King of Swords. It's a card of communication. You know, the thing that's tripping me up a little bit with this King of Swords, though, is that the King of Swords can be super logical. I'm just looking here, Virgo. Yeah, like there's no cups energy anywhere in the reading so far. The cups are about the emotions and the feelings. And I think what I'm getting here is like an emotional detachment. And this might be something that you've experienced where it's like you try to go and talk to them about your feelings, but you get this like very logical, intellectual response from them. Tell me what other actions they could be taking. Oh, okay. Okay, well, there's the cups. Queen of Cups. I'm getting things like, I've seen the error of my ways. I've realized I do love you. Okay, tell me more. Queen of Pentacles. I mean, it's interesting, you guys. Yeah, I definitely think if you're connecting with the energy today, that this person, I think they're going to do something to break your heart. I think they've maybe been doing that, but they've been hiding it. I think it's going to come to light. But the interesting thing is that I feel they want to be with you. So as soon as this comes to light, it's like all of a sudden they're begging for you. You know, they're like, give me a chance, Virgo. Let's work on it. Let's, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I don't know, you guys. because to me, I'm like, well, if they loved you so much, why did they do this? What the heck, you know? But I do think you could see a situation where they're almost like cold and detached and they do something to break your heart, but I don't think that's the last you're going to hear of them. And then I think they're going to come around and they're going to try to convince you that the two of you should actually be together. And that's tough. That's where I think we get the Five of Wands, where maybe that's going to be the two of you hashing out the issues, right? Okay, let's look at you. Tell me about Virgo's energy right now. Two of Swords. Yes. Probably the most perfect card to come out. So this is you being at a huge crossroads and being like, okay, now what do I do? So you're feeling stuck. Your head's probably telling you one thing. Your heart's probably telling you another. Okay. Tell me more about Virgo's energy right now. Six of Pentacles. Yeah. I do think that you have been the one who's been putting all the work and effort into the relationship, Virgo, and you're exhausted. And now you've got this person coming back and they're like, forgive me, I've now seen the error of my ways, Virgo. And you're like, okay, but you know, are they being honest? Can I trust it? Because I kind of feel like this person gave you breadcrumbs before. And now you're like, if I give them a chance, would it actually be a balanced relationship, or would it be another situation where I'm having to like mother them and take care of them and help them grow up and teach them how to be mature? Tell me more, please, about Virgo's energy. Ten of Pentacles. Okay. So here's the thing, you guys. I am getting the message that for some of you, this is complicated by the fact that you have children with this person. And so part of your thought process might be, you know, should we stay together because we've already, you know, started to build this life together? Maybe you've got kids together, assets together, whatever it is, right? Stuff like this is complicated. So I do get the sense that for some of you, there is a big history here. And so it's not so easy to just walk away, right? And I think all of that has to be considered when you're trying to figure out what you're going to do here. Tell me what Virgo could be feeling, please. Six of Cups. Okay. History, things tied to the past. I also feel, honestly, this is showing up because you're going to be finding out something your person did in the past, whether it's the recent past or maybe even longer ago for some of you. But I think that there is definitely a sense here that the past is weighing very heavy on your emotions at the moment. Tell me more about what Virgo could be feeling. Ten of Cups. I mean, guys, we're getting Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. Lots of energy for you to suggest you just want to like... You know, obviously you want to be happy, you want to settle down, you want to build a life with somebody. I think you need to look at it and be like, can I have that with this person or no, you know? Tell me more about what Virgo could be feeling. The Magician, can I trust them, right? That's the big message that's coming to mind immediately. As soon as I pulled this card, the question popped up in my head, Virgo, can I trust them, or is it all an illusion? A magician, as we know, is someone who does tricks, right? They make you see one thing when there's actually something else that's going on. And I think that's the problem here. It's like, you know, they might be begging for forgiveness. They might be groveling. And I'm also getting, it's all a game. I don't know, guys. I'm getting a lot of stuff kind of coming up. Like, you know, I almost feel like your person, especially with the Five of Swords, I do get a little bit of energy where they don't like to lose, right? So sometimes what happens is somebody comes around and they want to win us back. And it can be genuine, obviously, but it can also be driven by ego as well, right? Like they want to know they can still win you back. They want to know they can still get you. And then when they get you, the question becomes like, then what? Do they go back to their old ways or have they actually changed? I can see here that there's a lot of hesitation on your part, Virgo, with that Magician. Because it's like, I do think part of you is looking at it and you're like, okay, we do have a lot of history and, you know, I want to honor that. But then you're also like, but, you know, can I trust them? Can I believe what they're saying? They hid things from me. How do I know they're not going to do that again? How do I know they're going to be honest moving forward? These are all very valid things that I think you're asking yourself, Virgo. So I think the good thing here is like, I think you're really trying to assess the situation from all angles. But I do think there is part of you that's like, if we could make it work, we should try. But then the other part of you is like, but if we do that, can I ever trust them again? All right, let's see what actions you could be taking. Two of Wands, that's your decision. You have to evaluate the options here, Virgo, and really think about what is in your best interest, because the Two of Wands is multiple pathways. You go this way, you could go that way. It's like, what is the pathway that feels right for you moving forward in this situation? Tell me more. Nine of Wands. It's a real question of like, do I stay and fight or do I walk away, right? I think these are the kind of things that are coming up in your mind. Tell me more, please. And then the Chariot, okay? So it's interesting for you, Virgo, because remember, the first card that I pulled for you was the Two of Swords, and I'm like, you're stuck at a crossroads. Now, the final card that I pulled for you is the Chariot, which is actually the opposite. It's about charging forward, making a decision, and moving towards it. So I do think right now you might be feeling stuck, but I think you're taking in all the information, you're gathering information, and you're going to figure out what you want to do. Like, I don't think you're stuck forever. I feel like you're in a bit of a contemplative phase right now, Virgo, and then you're going to make a decision about how you want to move forward. So the moment of truth here is, let's see what the potential outcome is within this situation, please. Guys, that is interesting, okay? So we've got the Death card, which is not about a literal death, okay? It's about an ending, something that is no longer serving us, that needs to end, okay? There is a finality here, right? I mean, guys, when I look at this, it's basically, it's suggesting that things might be over. You could definitely be making the decision that you don't want to be with them anymore. That to me is what this card is saying. So the outcome here is saying things definitely cannot continue the way that they are. And for many of you, you might be making the decision to walk away. Even if there's history, even if it's complicated, I think it goes back to what I said a few minutes ago, where I'm like, at the end of the day, can you trust them? Because we see heavy cards here about lying and deceit, Seven of Swords, the Magician. And so it might be one of those things where you're like, you know what, I might still love them and I wish it could be different, but I know in my heart I will never trust them again. That's the vibe. Like, especially as we talked about, like, what if they cheated with one of your friends, you know? Are you always going to be walking around wondering, like, are they scoping out my friends? Like, I think there's something here where you're going to have to ask yourself, can I trust them? I think that's kind of like the big question. If you ask yourself that question and the answer is no, that's where I think this card is saying things could be over. You know, you could definitely be making a decision to walk away because you deserve better, okay? Now, is it possible that you guys have a fresh start with the Death card? Sure, it's possible, right? Is it likely? I'm not feeling that, if I'm being honest. And the reason is because of what we saw in your person's energy. We saw some really problematic stuff, right? We saw lying, potentially cheating, being dishonest, doing something here to really break your trust. And yeah, I mean, we did also see them kind of coming back and begging to be with you and groveling, but there was also like this sense of like ego potentially coming in, where it's more about, you know, with that Five of Swords, it might be winning for the sake of winning versus actually like wanting to build a healthy relationship. So from my perspective, when I look at some of the stuff that came up for your person, there's definitely challenging energy there. So if you guys were to make it work, it cannot be the way that it has been. The Death card is saying there would have to be a complete ending to the way things have been in your relationship and a completely fresh start. Like, your person would have to almost like completely transform and really take ownership of their behavior and do things differently moving forward. Again, is it possible? Of course, people can always change. But I think it goes back to like, are you seeing them make the changes? If you decide to give them a chance, do you see them trying? What do their actions tell you? So it's complicated, right? I keep getting that. Like, it's complicated, you guys, because there's history, there's connection, there's maybe, you know, a life that you've started to build together. It's not easy to make a decision to walk away, and I definitely empathize with you guys. The outcome is suggesting some of you could be deciding to walk away because as much as you love them, you feel you can't trust them again. And for those of you who want to work on it, I think the Death card is a piece of advice where it's like, you know, if you want to work on it, Virgo, work on it. That's your choice. But it is definitely suggesting things are going to have to really change with your person in particular and their behavior. They're going to have to really change and show up in a different way and really kind of transform that previous bad behavior into something better in order for it to work. If they're doing that, sure. I mean, I think that could be positive, but I think you have to be looking at it and asking yourself, have they actually changed? Are they doing the work? Are they showing up? And then you kind of go from there. So yeah, definitely tough energy. I do get the vibe too, you guys. It's like sometimes it's hard to come back from things, right? Like, I almost feel what your person has done for some of you. It's almost like an unforgivable thing. It's just one of those things where you're like, I will never forget that this happened, and you just can't move past it. Like, there's certain things that I think happen in relationships where it's like you can't unsee it or you can't unhear it, and sometimes it's really hard to move past it. And I'm getting the sense that this is one of those situations where, you know, if they cheated with your best friend, as much as you may love them, you know, how do you get that out of your head, right? Like there's certain things that I think can be challenging for people to move past. And I'm sharing these are examples, right, Virgo? I'm sharing these to kind of indicate that I feel whatever has happened is really gonna like sit heavy on your heart, and it might be something that's hard for you to personally move past. And that's where these issues of can I ever trust them again come in. You have to decide for yourself if you can. If you can't though, I do see you walking away if it's not what's serving you and if you're no longer feeling good about the relationship. So that's what I see for you today, Virgo. If you enjoyed this reading, you know what to do. Give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. If you'd like to get a personal reading, I do offer those through Etsy. The link is in the description box below the video. And of course, I wish you love and happiness, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.